All right, guys, welcome to Trading with Meatball, and I hope you had a good week. Let's take a look at the Amazon. And somebody had asked us to draw a chart or show how we draw charts. It's kind of the goal of the channel is we want you to steal our knowledge and put it in your toolbox, but trade your plan your way. And I'd like you to draw your own charts and your own zones. And somebody asked me if I could do one. I've done them before if you look at our other videos, but let's take a look at the Amazon. And she had a big jump, right, from 150 something up to 170. And here's the earnings, of course. Um, kind of flat during the day. It was up hard, but it didn't back off at all. It just stayed up there. And so that's a sign of strength, of course. But the answer always when you look at something is to zoom out and just keep zooming out. Here's the 1 hour, and let's look at the daily, right? And she's going up into this upward channel that we had drawn. And she went from below the channel right up to the top of the channel. Again, very strong, but let's zoom out again. And there's your answer. She can go as high as she wants. Let's go ahead and erase everything and just start over. Okay. And we use the 20-day moving average, which is this yellow line here. And the purple's the 90, but we don't always use that. And so that's fine. You can use whatever you want to. I trade the 5 minute chart and the 20-day moving average when I'm doing the SPY or the QQQ. And I usually have the 5 minute chart up for any ticker during the day. But, zoom out is always the answer. And it's good to zoom out to the 15-minute or the 1 hour before you run a trade. But we just erased everything so we could start from scratch. This is the weekly. Okay. And you can tell by the weekly that it has some support right here, right? And so we'll go ahead and draw a zone there. Anywhere there's chop or it does a wick off or a rejection or something, you can draw a zone. But when you draw on the weekly or the daily, remember those zones are going to be huge on the 5 minutes. So I don't usually draw on the weekly. I'll usually draw on the 1 hour or the 15 minute. But for this video purposes, we're going to look at the long term picture on this thing and see where it's going. Okay. And when I do a line, a trend line, I can already see where it's going. Here's the slope, and then we're gonna go to the support level, and the line will go something like this. I want to catch not the very bottom down here. I want to catch the first time it had a pop, like this little pop right here, and then it retraced. I want this. Why? Well, I want the body of the movement. I don't want the extremes. I don't want the wicks off the candles. And so we're going to discount let's zoom in so you can see it. We're going to discount these actual bottoms, and we're going to try and catch again the body of the movement. And the recovery was right in here when it went below 100, right? And you could even move that up to 95 or something if you want to, but that's good enough for this. And so again, let's see what else she shows us on the weekly. And I would do something like this maybe. It looks like we have some kind of a trend going on right in this area. Okay. And so let's extend it out and see what it looks like. Now, when I extend it, I'm looking here and here to make sure these two line up and just extend it to the right. Then I'll go look and see what it hit. Why am I doing that? Well, she doesn't have to do anything. She can go wherever she wants to. But when you're trading, and let's say you're on the 15-minute, and let's say there was a flash crash and it comes down to one of our lines. This is a long way to fall, isn't it? No, it's not. Same thing happened with Google the other day. We had this trend line on Google right here, and I had posted when it was up here um, this pattern it was showing us where it kept touching this line and going back up. And this is December, and this is January, and now we're in February. And I said to the guys in the Discord, man, that thing would have to fall a long ways to get to our trend line, but I'm not moving the trend line. You could always draw a second trend line if you want to, and you could put it, something like this. And what was I looking at? This, and this. Okay. Is it a good trend line? I don't know, but you can draw lines wherever you want to, guys, and you'd be surprised at how good you are at drawing these lines. Okay. But yeah, the Google dumped. And where did she stop? This is a 15-minute chart. It stopped right at the zone that we had drawn. And now it's respecting this trend line. And look how it stopped at the trend line and recovered. Okay. You can draw these lines, guys. You'd be amazed at how good you are. Let's go back and look at where this red zone right here came from. So go left, backwards in time, and you'll get your answers. And that zone was established in here because of the chop, and right here because of the chop. And I would even go so far as to maybe move it a little bit up so it catches the body right in here. And go left. Oh, look at that. Anytime you go left, you're going backwards in time and you'll get answers. Okay. And so, once again, back to the Amazon on the 15-minute, we like the 15-minute to draw lines for entries. And so, anywhere you can see something lining up, you can take it and you can pull it backwards. And while I'm pulling it backwards, my eyes are looking right here and here. Okay. Not to the left. I'm looking at where it was lined up to see. And then when you zoom out, what's it line up with? Maybe not really anything. But we're looking to see if we can establish a trend. We're looking to see if something lines up with something else. The more points on these lines that you can, let's try a 2 hour. The more points that you can line up on these trend lines, the more accurate the lines will be and the more reaction you'll get. Now, right here with those two lines we had drawn, you noticed how she's going through this channel, but then boom, she's up again. Okay. Well, it's probably gonna keep going, guys. I mean, based on what's going on, the market's running out of control. Amazon's a good company. They're into a lot of stuff. But look at where's the next resistance gonna be, okay? And the highest it's ever been, it's gonna have trouble getting in past that. So let's make a zone there. And then let's go ahead and look at wherever it chopped. And it was chopping in here. So there's gonna be resistance in here, and sure enough, she stopped right there, didn't she? I was looking right here when I drew that zone, okay? I'm looking at anywhere that it chopped, okay? And these are big zones now. We're on a weekly, so that's going to be a huge zone. Let's try to make that a little smaller. Okay. All right. So draw lines, draw zones, guys. You'll be much better at this than you think. But when you draw the zones, just look for anywhere that it chopped. The 15-minute is easy. If you want to look at the 15-minute to draw zones, or the 1 hour, and we're on the 15-minute now, and I'm putting a zone right there. You can look at wherever it was stabilizing, chopping, or resisting. And here's an obvious one right in here where it stayed flat for quite a bit. I was looking at this, and this when I drew that zone. All right. But you can do this, guys. Don't listen to anybody that tells you you can't. Good luck and go take their lunch money. Okay. God bless you.